This is Music with Mason here, still at the Olympic. We are here joined with the Fargo, North Dakota band, Hanging Wound. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Wonderful. We just played that 6th set.
Yeah, very stoked to be here in Iowa. First time here.
Well, welcome to Cedar Rapids. We hope to get you guys in the Quad Cities. That's where the real fun is, all right? Just saying. I just want to get one thing straight. Why did you choose the name Hanging Wound? You gotta ask me.
Yeah, that's one I'll have to take. So the origin of the name is kind of silly. The short version is it comes from essentially like a text message typo.
Yeah.
The longer version, I was playing in like essentially like an indie rock band.
Right.
And we were covering the song Sex and Candy by Marcy Playground.
Yeah.
And it's got that first line, I'm hanging around downtown by myself. And I was typing that out. We were talking about the cover in our group chat or something about which one are we going to do.
Yeah.
I typed that out and it auto-corrected round to wound.
Yeah.
And it said hanging wounds. And I was like, I gotta remember. I like the way that sounds. So I held on to it for like months. I didn't have any music for it or anything. I just knew like if I had a new metal band going, which I wanted to, that was the name I wanted to use. So yeah, silly origin, but pretty cool name, I think. You know.
Yeah. Something that I also want to mention: you guys are going to be opening for Goat Whore soon.
Yes.
How did you get in touch with that?
So to be honest with you, it's happening at the aquarium in Fargo, which is kind of our it's kind of our home venue.
Yeah.
You know, that's really the spot in Fargo for the most part.
Right.
There's a couple other, there's Parachigo and there's a couple other really good spots that they have shows in Fargo.
That's also where you've started playing first, right? That was your first show?
At the aquarium?
Yeah.
Yep, that is where our first show was. Yeah, absolutely.
And a Morning Star was there?
Yes, yeah, Morning Star and Serration, and yeah, that was it was a cool show. Jesse Kepford, Snow and Flurry hit us up. I think there might have been some sort of mix-up and maybe a band dropped or something like that. It was just kind of a situation of, hey, I heard you have a new project. You want to hop on the bill? So shout out to Jesse for putting us on our first one. Yeah, that was the first one, and then yes, that's. The kind of the home spot in Fargo is the aquarium. So I think I was just at a different show and I saw that the flyer was posted for Goat Whore and Vitriol and saw that there wasn't any locals or any openers or anything on it yet. So it was kind of just a situation of I asked one guy and he pointed me in the direction of who was booking it and then sent him an email and they sent me an email address and, you know, got in contact with them. Somebody at the company that's booking the event, and yeah, sent them our stuff basically. And they hadn't had any openers or anything, and it seemed like they were kind of just going show by show. Yeah. As far as who the openers besides the two, you know, for the two touring bands were going to be. We have some friends in other bands that are also on that. We played with Funerary Outlook last night in Wisconsin, and then them and our friends in Yotuma are going to be on the Goat Whore show, I think in like Milwaukee or something like that. So it's cool. We managed to hop on that, and then we got some friends in other bands that are on other dates and stuff. So it feels, and I personally, Goat Whore and Vitriol are both big influences on me. Specifically, Sammy, the guitar player Sammy, and then the other guitar players are both big influences. So it was special. It was cool for me that we were able to get on that. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I also want to mention before we continue, there's a band across the street playing a bunch of cover songs, but we're just gonna roll with it because I mean we're already at a rock show.
We're doing a Wasp cover right now.
They are?
I'm sorry. They're covering Wasp across the street right now, and that's hell yeah.
I hope YouTube doesn't copy strike me.
I mean, there's no music happening. I'm sorry.
So what can you tell us about the Snow and Flurry Fest?
Snow and Flurry Fest. Just like in general, I guess, about the fest.
Yeah.
It was a Fargo-based. Initially, it was started in Fargo, and it's kind of expanded to now. I think the main fest happens in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis. Excuse me. But it's so there's like the main fest, which is like they do a lot of that, you know, a lot of death metal, a lot of hardcore. Kind of started primarily a hardcore thing, but I think now, like a lot of other fests, that death metal and hardcore crossover is just inevitable. You know, to me it goes pretty hand in hand. So, yeah. So they started off just as another little fun fest to have in Fargo, and now it's expanded to it being kind of both Minneapolis and Fargo people that are in charge, and they also book shows outside of it that are like Snow and Flurry Presents. So our first show was Snow and Flurry Presents.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the name is a play on Sound and Fury.
Yeah.
Like the hardcore fest. It's
Snow and Flurry, Snow and Sound and Fury.
Midwest, you know,
Yeah.
North Dakota, yeah.
For sure. What is Who's Photography? HOOS.
He's the homie. That's Ben Hoos back in Fargo. Dude, he's like, he's kind of like the photographer for like the underground music scene in Fargo. He also puts on shows, so he does like, what's that?
Who's Photography? Who's Presents?
Who's Presents, yeah. So he'll do, he brings in bands from like all over the place, dude. He brought in, God, there was a couple shows that we played. Did he bring in a Squealer Grind? I think he got a part of having a Squealer Grind come to Fargo. That was pretty cool. We got to play with them. He gets all kinds of stuff, but he takes a lot of our pictures. He just comes to a lot of our shows and takes our pictures. Obviously, like, you know, we work with them, do like professional pictures and stuff with them, but he just does a lot of like the shoots around Fargo. Usually if you see like a band in Fargo, like a metal band or something, it's usually him taking the pictures. So yeah, I mean, if you ever get to Fargo, definitely like, and you're kind of like into like the underground music, you know, punk, metal, whatever, hit him up for sure, because he's really sick to work with. Ben Hoos is his name.
For sure. And just a generic question, if you could answer this for me. When you play in different states, like North Dakota, and then you move over to Madison, Wisconsin, and now you're in Iowa, and you've played in so many different states, are there any differences you can see at all?
Not really, in my opinion. It's mostly just the bands that were... Actually, some states have different, like, scenes that are popular. Usually in Fargo, we play with a lot of, like, hardcore, like metal, like metallic hardcore bands. And that sometimes influences what we want to play when it comes to covers and stuff like that. We've noticed in the last days we played at, most people were into death metal, I think, rather than what we're used to, like hardcore.
Right. I also want to mention, was your practice area like ankle high in water?
Yeah, so
Yes, it was.
the practice spot that we practice at is actually my home. We practice in my basement. So Fargo is known for flooding. And actually, it wasn't even because of the snow melting. It was because it rained really, really hard, and my sump pump quit working, and it completely like flooded the basement. And yeah, it kind of put actually a hold on of a lot of like music that we've been writing, like recording down there and stuff. So yeah, it was like we're currently still trying to fix it, but yeah, that was a thing this summer. It was pretty shitty. So.
Yeah, it sounds pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Is it okay now? Is it emptied?
Yeah, we practice down there. We got to get carpet. We got to get the renters to get carpet down there. But we've been practicing. So it's not ready to record or anything because we record a lot of the stuff in my basement. But yeah, we'll get it fixed soon.
And none of your equipment was injured?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, nothing. Like, his pedal board was literally submerged in water, and it was fine. Like, all of his pedals were fine afterwards. I don't know how it didn't get ruined, but so yeah, it's good.
And what is the Blank Skate Project?
Oh, Blank Skate Project. Okay, I can do that. Sorry, I interrupted you. So Blank Skate Project is essentially, I don't know exactly what the word organization, I guess, would be the word, that basically is involved in keeping skate parks around in Fargo, you know, and particularly the goal of Blank Skate Project was to, so there's there's one indoor skate park in Fargo. It's called the Hawk's Nest, and the Hawk's Nest has to move. It was, just classic, building situations, stuff happens, places got to move, so they're looking for a new location. So Hawk's Nest, our Blank Skate Project, was a fundraiser show that we played to raise money for this indoor skate park. So we had a little, I guess you could say, local music scene showcase.
Cold Front and Idiot Man-Child was there?
Yes, yep. Our friends an Idiot Man-Child.
Was this the show with the wrestling?
With the wrestling?
No, that was the Gorgatron. No, did we play that one, the Gorgatron? No, I'm thinking of something else.
There is shows we have had. So there's a wrestling promotion out of our area called Time Bomb Pro, and we haven't actually been able to play any of the Time Bomb shows, but that is something they have done in the past with Maul, for example. Maul has played a couple of those where sometimes it'll be like bands and wrestling matches kind of happening. They'll do this in the aquarium, in the bar, in the club, or whatever you want to call it, that we play venue. There's the word.
Yeah, they said wrestling in there.
Yeah, it's just the couple times how they done it was like bands playing on the stage, and then a match was happening on the floor. Right. So it would just be like set, match, and it's a really good time.
Now we're moving on to some personal questions for each of you. Do you go by Raven?
Raven?
Yeah.
No, Raven. No, I'm Mark. Raven's not in the band.
You're Mark.
Yep, I'm Mark.
He's not in the band anymore. What is Marvin Windows?
Marvin Windows. Marvin is the window company of the country. No, that's just where I work. I work at Marvin. I just got a job there, and they've been pretty cool about letting me take time off to tour. So that's just where I work. They've huge window company in the United States. So.
Who's Icarus the ferret?
Who is it?
Icarus?
Oh, Icarus. My ferret. Oh, my ferret Icarus. That is... so I have 3 ferrets, and, I did have 3 ferrets. I have 1 ferret now. 2 of them passed away. Icarus was my sweet boy that passed away a couple years ago. And then I had Gasper, who also passed away, and I still have 1 more named Luca. That's those are my 3 ferrets that I had.
You and your friend Tanner made something called In With The New?
Is it the In With The New? So that'd be... Tanner is my best friend. He's my roommate, so we live together, and we just kind of made, before Hanging Room, actually, it was just him and I, we made a solo, just album by ourselves in a little practice spot that we had, and we just made some music and just kind of recorded it. Not really anybody listens to it, but it was kind of for ourselves, and we kind of put it out there. I should share it more often because I think it's cool, but... So yeah, if you ever get bored, In With The New on Spotify, you can check it out. It's kind of experimental stuff, but yeah, that's my best friend Tanner.
You found a dead moose on the way to Slipknot?
A dead? Wow, that was a long time ago. That's crazy. Yeah, that was back in 2015. I think 2015 when Slipknot played in Bismarck, and I went there with my brother, and then on our way to Bismarck, I lived in Williston, North Dakota at the time, and we went there, and I think it was in one of the small towns on the way there, and there was just like a dead moose inside, like in the back of a guy's truck. Like, and and we were just like, let's take a picture with this dead moose. It was
Have you welded in the past?
welded. Yeah, I when I was younger, can't say that I did it in high school, but I was kind of into that kind of stuff when I was younger. I'm not so much anymore. Definitely a lot better welders out there than me, but yeah, I did weld a little bit when I was a little bit younger.
All right. You're Landon.
I'm Landon.
Landon, your girlfriend does tattoos?
Yeah, she sure does. Yeah, my shout out Devereaux Tattoo Parlor. My partner Ellie is a amazing tattoo artist, and yeah, she's doing it for a long time. And then just some things fell into place where there was a shop that she started working at, and then some stuff changed hands, and she ended up owning the shop. And now Devereaux Tattoo Parlor has been open for a couple of years, and she's got, I think it's, if I'm remembering correctly, there's 4 other tattoo artists there and 1 dedicated piercer, and they're killing it, and I'm very proud of them.
There you go. What is Spec?
Spec, the 038. 701 Hardcore. Spec is my other band. Actually, our vocalist is one of the artists at Devereaux Tattoo Parlor, Ethan, Midwest Morning. Yeah, Spec is a hardcore band that's we kind of joke that it's a bit of a super group because it's like a couple of guys from Mall. Robbie and Josh from Mall are also in Spec, and then Josh and our other guitar player, Austin, are in another metal band called Vessels, which is like a progressive like metal band, and so there's like between the 5 of us, there's like 4 projects all in that mix. So yeah, Spec was just a hardcore band that we started for fun, and I think our first Spec show might have been the Snow and Flurry booking as well, if I recall correctly. I think that was, we had like 3 songs. We played like a 12-minute set, but open to Hardcoreville, so I mean, why not, you know? But yeah, that's the 038 Spec, yeah.
Who is Frankie?
Frankie is my boy. He's my little man. He's my little homie. Frankie's my cat.
Yep.
Yeah, Frankie's my cat. I found him outside of my previous apartment. I was going to work and there was a fire escape, and he was just chilling on the fire escape. And I figured he belonged to somebody, so I just like stopped and said hi to him and went about my business. Came home from work that day and he was still chilling, so my partner and I asked around, and nobody claimed him, so we made sure he wasn't chipped or anything like that, and he came home with us, and now he's my boy. Yeah, he's kind of glued to me when I'm home, so.
Right.
Shout out Frankie.
Did you take a photo of Slash's hat?
Yeah, I did. Wow. That's funny. When I was in like high school, one of the years of high school, I took a trip with my church group actually to San Diego, and we happened to be going by one of the hard rock locations, and like outside, like they had a glass display with Slash's hat, which I believe was from Velvet Revolver era. if I may. Yeah, Slash's hat, it's true.
Yeah. I really wish I knew more about you. I unfortunately don't have any questions for you, but I'd like to start off with this one.
If I may, I wish I knew more about him too.
Yeah.
Where do you hope to see metal in 10 years?
I guess I'm more of like a traditionalist when it comes to metal, so I know like fashion and stuff tends to like redo itself after a certain amount of years. I imagine that in 10 years metal will kind of just loop around on itself, and there'll be like more like old school type things. Right. Yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen. Yeah.
For sure.
I think that's kind of tough, but I think that like with metal, it's like you just really. I was just having a conversation with these guys earlier about like just like people in general, how people gatekeep metal in a way that's like so negative, and that's like the worst thing that you can do. People were just kind of ripping on a couple songs that just came out with a couple bands that I really really like. And so yeah, I don't know. It's just like people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and you can't like put people down for just putting out music that they just genuinely like creating. But I hope that metal like it turns into something really really interesting. To me, like there's a lot of really really good stuff out there. There's a lot of really stuff that makes it feel stagnant, but you just find the stuff that you think is like. That you think is kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit, and you just kind of keep going off of that, and then just stop being so negative about like metal in general. Like I don't know, there's a lot of elitists out there, and it really like it just puts people down. Like I just think we don't need that in our community at all.
I would 100% agree.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all about unity between all the different, especially when it's like heavy music or extreme music or whatever you want to call it. You know, like whether it's punk or hardcore or death metal or slam or whatever. You know, we're all just out here playing riffs and having fun. And like I don't know. I think that. The fact that in the last few years especially you see a lot more crossover with different styles like that, and you see like Dying Fetus playing hardcore fests and hardcore bands touring with death metal bands, and that whole a band like Sanguisugabog who can tour with Terror and then go tour with Nile, like that unity and that crossover I think is like really important, because to me that was always, especially growing up, being very interested in older eras of metal, like 80s or 90s metal. That was always weird to me, where hear people, it's like, oh, these guys in this scene don't like these guys in this scene, and it's always like, I mean, we're playing guitars, we're riffing, we're moshing, like I don't know, it's all out here.
We're kind of all in the same boat.
Yeah, absolutely, I think so. Yeah.
My second to last question for you guys: what is the future for Hanging Wound? More concert dates, more album, EP, merch. What are we seeing?
Well, right now, concert date-wise, when we get back from this run we're on right now, this coming Thursday on the 8th, we're playing on Mark's birthday. We're playing at Parachigo in Fargo. That's going to be an all-ages one. I think it's Jankum and Me Too, which is a couple really great Fargo, like hardcore, grindy, like the young Fargo heavy scene is really sick right now. Yep. And then Garrett from Mall is putting this on. Mormon Minsters is coming through for that one. Cool, just fun grindcore, playing with local death metal heavyweights, Gorgatron, next in September, and then Gopor and Vitriol in the beginning of September as well. And that's it for dates. We're hoping to go into writing mode, and like Mark said earlier, we were kind of mid-recording of a couple singles when the flooding stuff happened. So hopefully that'll be, because we have a couple singles that we've been, just individual songs that we've been playing live for a few months now that we're ready to record and get out there. So hopefully getting, they're called Integration and Sword of Damocles. Hopefully we'll be getting those two songs recorded soon. We've seeing some new merch, rolling out of summer into fall, seeing some hoodies and some fun stuff like that, some physical, we'd love to see some physical copies of our music too. Absolutely. When we were talking about what you brought up Tanner earlier, I also wanted to shout out Tanner because he's the one who produced and recorded our debut EP, Eat the Night. So, and he was working with us on those singles, so hopefully more recording with Tanner, more recording in the laboratory at Mark's house, and new music. That's what we like really right now. New music. That's what we're ready for.
100%. One final question for you guys. I've asked every band I've interviewed this. What would you tell the young and aspiring musicians who want to do what you guys are doing right now?
If you want to play guitar, it doesn't matter if you have short, stubby fingers like me. Yeah.
You can do anything.
You can do anything. Put your mind to it.
Let's go.
Kind of rolling back to what I said earlier, there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to kind of put you down, like a lot of elitists, but like, I don't know, just don't listen to that stuff. Just just do what you want to do. And then when just practice. Like, I know days when you get a job, a full-time job, I work 10-hour shifts, you get home, practice to a click. That is very important. Please practice to a click. Don't just wing it. And then, just keep practicing and keep pushing forward. Don't listen to what all the negative people have to say.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say kind of similar to what Mark was saying. My thing is, be yourself. Try stuff. Try stuff if you wanna. If you're feeling some urge to write a hardcore song or start a ska band or whatever it is, just try it. Don't worry about like I said, any outside influence besides what you think is cool and like the homies and Judas Priest and like the homies and friends you have in your life that builds you up and listen to your stuff and say hell yeah, or even the ones that laugh at you or goof with you and be like nice try, but just try stuff. Don't be afraid to whatever that might be, whether that means writing music, whether that means what you're wearing to a show or in your daily life, or if you want to mosh and you're worried about like, oh, it might look silly or whatever, just do what you're feeling called to do. That's the big one for me. Just do what you're feeling called to do.
Yep.
Amazing. These guys, yeah, these guys have been going at it for a while right now. I don't think they've stopped since we've been interviewing. I don't think they've stopped. But thank you, Hanging Wound, so much for being here. I can't wait to see you guys again. Hopefully you come back to Iowa. So, thank you guys.
You guys are sick. Iowa's sick.
We'll see you guys next time.